Good evening, everyone. My name is Someshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living Organization to Yog Vaashishtha इवनिंग सेशन। नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। टुडे वी आर ऑन डे 93। आज हम लोग 93वें सत्र में पहुंच चुके हैं। रोज की तरह आज के सत्र की शुरुआत भी हम लोग 3 बार ओमकार के उच्चारण से करेंगे। We'll begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. So all our Zoom participants, all our YouTube viewers, and all our Facebook viewers, you are all welcome to this session. Let us begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. Let's close our eyes. आंखें बंद कर लें। Sit comfortably. आराम से बैठ जाएं। Neck straight, shoulders relaxed. Spine erect. Let's bring our attention to our breath. अपना ध्यान अपने सांस के ऊपर ले आए। Breathe in. And let go. Take one more deep breath. And let go completely. Let us be part of this moment. Let us chant Om 3 times. Breathe in. Let us invoke the divinity within. गुरु का आवाहन कर ले। आवाहनम। आवाहनम। पुनः पुनः। Let us express our gratitude. गुरु वंदना कर ले। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let us pray to the Master. Whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts hovering onto our mind, and the power of discrimination arise in our intellect. And the impressions that might be getting created in the memory. And if still there is an iota of that I, me, let all these known and unknown levels of our existence, layers of our existence be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. We, the people walking on the path of liberation, have already experienced that mukti, moksha. Let this remaining life, if we have to come again to express our gratitude, to serve, or to spread this knowledge, let all that be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. Feel the presence of the Master within and outside. Slowly and gradually. The gentle smile on your face, you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो. Okay, so let's continue with our session. We are looking at dialogue that happens between the Vaashishtha Muni and Gauri Shankar, Shiva. And very beautiful knowledge that Shiva gives to Vaashishtha Muni, and we are going through it petal by petal. The knowledge is getting opened over here. So we have seen that once upon a time Vaashishtha Muni goes to the bottom of Kailasha, and there he sets up at the river of Ganges. He sets up an ashram, and along with many other siddhas, they all together do the form the study group and also worship Shiva. They do the Shiva Aradhana. They worship Shiva, and at the same time they also form a study group and then doing all their practices and doing listening to knowledge, doing a brainstorm session on it. All that things is a part of their daily routine. So when they continue that for over a period of time, one fine day, Gauri Shankar, Parvati and Shankarji, the Lord Shiva, they are pleased with these things and they just want to come and shower their blessings onto this Vaashishtha Muni and all others. So one fine day Vaashishtha Muni observed that they are all coming. So he spreads all the water, the Jala, the Ganges river, water is there, he spreads that. Basically prepare a walk pathway for them to come. Then he spreads the flower also there, basically to welcome them with all due honor and respect. So when they come over there, he worships them, he offers his prayer. And once all that done, even to all the ganas that accompanies Shiva and Parvati, he offers them also the respect. And then after taking a permission from Shiva, they all settle down to have a dialogue, to speak to each other. So that is where Shiva asked him that, are you okay? How are you? You are Brahmagani. Are there any things that still you would like to know? Are there any questions? Are you happy about the things, what are going, the way it is going on? No, your practices are going well. No? Is there any fear that is there? Would you like to share with me? All such things, just the well-being of Vaashishtha. He also knows that he is a Brahmagani. Vaashishtha knows that Shiva is there in front of him, but still this dialogue goes on. So here Vaashishtha Muni addresses to Rama, hey Rama, after listening to those address from Shiva, I also expressed myself and I told him that just by the moment someone listens to you, someone just remembers you, just by the smarana, that memory, one can really get out of all the sorrow, gets out of all the things back, whatever is been there, that baggage, that will just immediately happens to diminish. So it is that if during this period of this Kali Yuga, this taking a name of the divine, that is being given a very prime importance here. So that the one who remembers you, the one who always in a remembrance of you, the one who worship you, all them will be obviously in a happy state of their mind. So this is what happens to me also. I constantly pray to you, I constantly worship you, I constantly remember you in my heart. So I am also happy. You are also been called as Mahakala, the one who is beyond death, the one who is beyond time. Then one who worship you, how can they have any fear of death or fear of anything? These things can't even come near to them. They have already attained that state which is beyond Kala. They are beyond all this fear and beyond all these things. Then he expresses himself like this, and then obviously when Shiva himself is there in front of him, despite of he is a Brahmagani, he takes that opportunities and requests Shiva to explain that which is that topmost procedure, which is the topmost prayer of way of doing your pujas, to offer your prayer to the divinity. Kindly explain that. To which God you need to offer that? Kindly tell us, shower your blessing on us with your knowledge. So here Shiva also start addressing him that you are already Brahmagani. Many things are already known to you. But still, I will share that the most easily accessible thing to everybody, and that is something that I will share. So he says that that whatever you have asked this question, you refer to that worshipping the God. When you say Deva, worshipping the God, so really we need to really first understand who the God is. No, then he explains that, see, we consider that okay, there is Lord Vishnu, there is Lord Shankara, you address me as Shankara, then there is Lord Brahmadev. Are these are real Deva? Are these are real supreme beings? So he said that is not the truth. So all these things, whatever we see here, we refer to them Devas. They are in the form, we address them with some name, but they ultimately are same like the one which is the ultimate Brahman, the ultimate Shiva. It is that with many different ways we address it. We call it Dhamma, Shiva, Chaitanya, awareness, Ishvara, Paramatma. Someone call it as Buddha, someone call it as Jesus, someone call it as Allah. Many different names we take in Indian philosophy. We have 33 crores such different gods and demigods. So we address it the same energy with different name, the same tattva. It's a principle. We address it a different way. So it's a good idea to address that. All these forms are not real. We have in a symbolic manner, we have expressed our thing to all these different names. So he said, no, Vaashishtha Muni also asked him that, then what is the way out? What is the solution? Where do we actually, the one, that soul, that Atma, that is what we really need to worship. How do we do that? So here Shiva explaining that chit, that not chitta, the chit means that Brahman, chit means that Shiva, that principle. So that Shiva, that chit is there. We need to really do the puja. We need to really offer the puja or prayer to that chit. Then how do we do it? So the one who is not having this knowledge, the one who has not yet self-realized, the one who is not yet attained this self-realization, for them it's they what they do, they offer their prayer to. For them, these things, this path is made the idol worship and all other types of worship. They need somebody to look at, Shanka Chakradi Dali Bhushit, the one who is carrying all the Shankar is referring to Vishnu. The one who is wearing all the Pushpamala means the garland. No, we see how the gods and demigods are there depicted. So it's referring that all these things, the one who looks like on like a lotus. So then for them, the people who does not have this deeper knowledge, for them to start with their praise, because they cannot pray to something which is not visible, something which we cannot see, it becomes very difficult for them. So they need something in the form. So for them, it's okay. If they do it, it's absolutely fine. And even the one who is self-realized, even if they do it, it is just for the sake of it, just a krida for them, just like a game. If they do it, they worship, they offer their prayer to it, but they know that all these external rituals, external things, that offering the flower, offering the dhupa, deepa, all these things are really not essential. If you are doing it, it's okay. Continue to do that. That is absolutely fine. No? So the one who are knowledge level, the one who are realized soul, even if they do it like a just like to set an example for the other people, how to do that, how to be, and also how they have that gratitude. But then when they offer that, they do not look for that divinity somewhere outside. Not somewhere Shankara is sitting, the Lord Shiva, Shankarji, Gauri Shankar is sitting somewhere there on the Kailasha. Not that Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is sitting somewhere in that Shirasagar. Not that Brahmadev is sitting somewhere on the lotus. But they see that divinity. They do not see the duality first thing, and they see that divinity is there within them. It is that Atma, it is that self, it is that soul, which is same like that whatever the different names we refer to. So here he says that it is worth worshipping that. So it is like that. So what are all the samagris that you need? When you offer puja, you need flower, you need dhoop, you need incense, you need a deep, diya, all these things, candles, you need all the external things to offer your prayer. But what is it that when somebody wants to worship their own self, what is it that is regard? What is that samagri is there? What all the things means that you require to offer prayer to that self, that Atma? So here he says that it is the Shama. You need to be first established. You need to have the peace of mind. If you are not peaceful, then if you do not have that viveka, that pragya, that self-discrimination, that power of discrimination, that we usually do that Veda Buddhi, we keep discriminating between the things. But once you have understood that these duality doesn't exist, having that viveka, that duality doesn't exist, that pragya, and then that samata, that equanimous samadrishti, that equanimous state, that balanced state, these are the real offerings that one can have to worship the self. Unless until you have this, you will not be able to reach to yourself. Unless until you drop this, all the vikaras, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, all the five senses and its outward tendencies, all these things, till that you do not drop it, you will not be peaceful. You will not be able to drop your mind. And until you do that, you will not be able to go deeper into your own self. And these are all the real samagri. These are all the real means that one can do the puja, that one can offer. So when you do these things, you surrender all these things and then offer this peace, offer all the qualities, that Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, all these good qualities that one automatically get, that sattva. You have to establish in that sattva, and then with the fullness of gratitude, whatever you offer them, then that is well accepted the self. That is what it's in. So other than that, if you do it the other way, if you pick up the flowers, you pick up the diya, pick up the insects, haldi, kumkum, what are the other things that we do? He says, Shiva says that is gaun. That is, we need not give so much importance to it. Do not get stuck into all the karma kandas. If you are still doing it, it's okay, but don't get entangled and so much stuck into it. Manas puja, the one puja which is done at the level of mind, is also very good. And if you are already doing your yoga, pranayama, meditation, expressing your gratitude with the fullness of heart to the divinity, it is good enough. It is equivalent to doing your puja, offering your prayer to the divinity. So he explains like that. So then he says that sometimes that happens to see to be doing it, but then that's also fine. He is not rejecting anything here, but it says that it's not essential. One need not get stuck into it. And then Shiva explained to Vaashishtha, hey Brahman, and that is not somewhere very far. No, we already seen it. That's not somewhere very far. That somebody is not sitting there outside. No, it's there within you. It's there. No, not it's there everywhere. No, it's there here also. It's there everywhere also. Is omnipresent, omnipotent. Then he says that now Vaashishtha Muni asks to Shiva. Then I asked that Prabhu, what are the Shaktis? What are the energies? No? What are the powers that this Atma, that Shiva, carries with him, and what is the state of that? No? So here he explained that Shiva, that is just stable, it is just stationary, and the power of that, it's Shakti, no? The spandan, the energy, the vibration of that, the movement, that Kriya Shakti, that is the there of that Shiva is called as Shakti. So how does that Shakti takes? So that also is Akar, it also does not have any form. But then how does this all these things comes into existence? So here Shiva also explains in the chronological order of the creation of this universe. So he says all that starts with that Shanta, that Aprameya, that peaceful Chinmatra Rup, the one who is completely established in itself, is with that Chinmatra Rup, the Akara Rahit, means it is completely formless. That Paramatma, that Shiva, gets into one Sankalpa. Means that some Ichcha comes there, some Sankalpa comes there. Once that it wants to go and express it, it first express in this form of a space. No? We have seen that Chida Akash is there. No? So it is that space. So that is the Akash Satta. It is that Chida Akash. Now that comes into picture. Then it goes ahead. Then we have seen the concept of Chidakash, and then there is a concept of Hiranyagarbha also is there. So that Hiranyagarbha, that Brahmadesh, it expresses that, and then that thing comes into picture, and it goes into that Kala Satta. So when that Kala Satta is there, it also creates a Niyati, something called as Niyati. What is Niyati? Let's understand this. Something which is been given as a default. For example, you start your Windows, you start your laptop, and it starts with certain things as default, right? So that's the thing. That thing that if you click on start button, this will happen. If you give it a command like this will happen. If you click on the WhatsApp icon on your mobile, WhatsApp will open up. Something like this, something which is now there as a default to you. So like this, all these things are installed. How? For example, the nature of fire is to burn. The nature of fire is to burn. The nature of water is to be cold. The nature of air is to flow. Now, all these inherent natures of everything is been defined. That guna dharma, that qualities of being, the quality of the matter, the quality of all these things, pancha mahabhuta, five, all these things are defined when the universe is created, and they behave according to their own nature. This is called as niyati. Something which is given to you as a default is our niyati. Then using that, how do we use? Using the fire, you can also burn the wood. Using the fire, you can also create an energy, multiple uses of energy. Using the fire, you can also cook. No? So it is up to us to how to use it, but then that it has its own quality, and we can use it the way that free will is given to us. So that is what has been explained here, that this is Niyati Satta. So that Niyati Satta is created here. Then because of that, that Swabhava Dharma, everything has its own qualities. That Swabhava Dharma is also given. Now, then after this, what happens is that this is itself becomes the Mahasatta. Means now what is been explained here, that Shiva is there, and when the Shiva starts expressing its Shakti in the form of expansion, in the form of Kriya, in the form of expand, in the form of matter, no, then all these things, all this expansion of Shiva, correct, means all this Srishti, this Jagat, this universe is created. No? So that is the Mahasatta. Then he again explains, then the pranis, no, to express themselves, they gets into the using the prana, the one who dharan, the prana. For example, we are prani, so we get that prana and then establish the jiva satta. So that is what we can know. We are in the form of jiva, and then there is a Shiva. Now jiva and Shiva is not different; they are the same, but we are assuming ourselves, associate ourselves with this form, so it becomes jiva. The moment you drop this form, you already attain the Shiva. So that is what it happens. Then all these things, Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, then skip all the pravrittis, the tendencies, the nivritti, not having any schedule, all these different types of Shaktis dawns in you. So we see that once we come into this body, all these 5 senses get developed, all these 5 karmendriyas get developed, all this body get develops, all the intrinsics, all the nadis and all the lungs and all the different parts get developed, and all of them have their own shaktis, their own energy, their own power. The sense of touch has its own power, the sense of sight has its own power, the sense of hearing has its own power, the sense of taste, the smell has its own power. So these are all the different shaktis, these are all the shaktis of Shiva only. So it is thus that Shakti, it appears, manifests, the Shiva manifests in the form of a Shakti, where it becomes stable, it is Shiva. When it is moving, it is Shakti. So these are all the Shaktis that is also of Shiva only. Shiva and Shakti, they are not too different. No, Shakti is the form of Shiva when it is in a action, when it is having vibration, when it is moving, it is that Shakti. So all these Shaktis takes the form of all these things. No? That is what Shiva explains to Vaashishtha. So the one who has understood this, one who has realized this, this is how it works, this is how this creation is there. And then do not get stuck into all these external things. Realize that Jiva is Shiva by dropping that I am not this body, I am not this, I am not this, although it has been inspired by this. So then you understand, you get it yourself established into the Shiva. No? So it is that things, the one which is established into this Chidatma, the one who is ultimate observer of the things that happens, does not create any impression on itself, and then continue to do the Prapta Karma, continue to do the Prarabdha Karma, the one which is been given, the one which has come to you as because of your past birth or because of your past karma. They keep on doing that Prapta Karma, and then they continue to live their life like that. So that is very important. So these are the different things. So I already told you that the one who does the prayer, no? So then that question also comes, the one who if everybody worships Shiva, who, what is it that Shiva does when he does the meditation, to whom he offers his prayer? No? So that he says that the one who has to do the Shiva Pooja, no? One has to offer the prayer to the Shiva. We say, no, Gurudev also does it, Rudra Puja and all these things, and he offers the prayer and he offers it to himself also. So it is that dhyana, that is the best form of offering your prayer to the Shiva, is the meditation. So once you sit with yourself, yeah, you drop all the other things, you from the outward journey, you get into the inward journey, and then you be with yourself. That is the best prayer that can be offered to Shiva. That is the Shiva Puja. That is the Shiva Puja. That is the sadhana that is available. So usually all the wise one, what they do all this Snana and Achmanam, they do all their routine shauch, means their cleanliness, they will take themselves, and after that doing this deha, this once big making this body clean, no, then they will do like this. They will do this puja like this. They will sit and use. They will just witness this sakshi rupa. No, they will just witness this sakshi, this chitta, means that atma, that self. No, that prakasha within the techniques like nirvishaya. No, dropping all the five senses and its activity. Nirvikar. No, there will not be any all this kama, krodha, lobha, mada, motsa, this greed, entanglement, all this, dropping all these shandrikus, no, that stops you to be with yourself, dropping all this tendency, dropping all the tendency of I am the doer, that aham, no, I am the one who is doing, dropping all that thing, dropping all the sankalpas and vikalpas, the mind, which takes all these things, it keeps doing all this, I want to do something, I am something, dropping all that thing, no, dropping your mind. Also, they just get themselves with the Shuddha, Nirvikar mind, they do the Dhyan. Of whom? Of self, Atma Dhyan. Self. They just be with their own self. That is what the best puja, that's what the best prayer, and that is what the best puja. So other than that, other things are not yathartha. Other than the other type of puja are not that essential. So this Sarva Shaktiman, the one who is now is talking about the Sarva Shaktiman, is that Shiva, that self, which is this Sarva Shaktiman, it is the source for this, no? Or for all the sun, it is the source, it gives that light to the sun. It is the source of that fire, that Ushma that is given to the fire. It is that Shakti, that coldness that is being offered to the water. It is that source which gives the movement to the air. So it is the source of everything. It is that Chidatma. It is that thing. To that only the knowledgeable, the wise one, they worship that. Then other than that, the external thing, the Bhaya Upachara, they are gaun. They are not essentially in here. The one who has really understood the Virat Swarup, the omnipresence and omnipotent of your divine, then what limits do you feel limited? Do you restrict yourself to the thing? He says that Virat Swarup, that you can, in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna shows the Virat Swarup, the omnipresence, omnipotent presence of the divinity. So if you worship to that self, that is the Sreshta Puja, that is the ultimate, that is the Sreshta Dhyan also, that is the best meditation that one can offer to this. So the external things are not that much important. So he says that once who does this Atma Shiva, this Atma Pujan, the Anta Pujan, then that reaches to Shiva, because Shiva is not some physical embodiment here, it is the thing. So that is where he also speaks thing, the one who does this, they are just stable, established in themselves. And when they do it, they achieve that Bodhalinga. Here we always, that Shiva is always depicted in the form of Shivalinga. The Pindi is what we say. So they are the one, the Gyanis, the Brahma Gyanis, the one who becomes Atma Gyani, they achieve that Bodhalinga. Bodhalinga means that heightened awareness. That Bodha is there, that heightened awareness, that alertness is there. They achieve that linga. They just establish themselves in that jnana, that knowledge. And then that experience of that, offering that puja of a knowledge, that is that jnana samadhis which are already seen. The samadhi which we can take you, and how does that happen? It is not that when you sit like this and do some padmasana and meditation, not just that. 24/7, when you're just aware about your breath, when you're just aware about your own self, you're aware about all the actions are happening. You're not having a feeling of doership. You're not having a feeling of discrimination. This is good, this is bad, this is pap, this is punya, good deeds, bad deeds. No, this is mine, this is his. He is like this, he is like that. I'm like this, I'm like that. No such discrimination. It's the equanimous state. One that is established, that is called as Bodhalinga. You are establishing that samadhi, you are establishing that meditation of a knowledge, and that remains throughout. It doesn't diminish. So that is the Shivalinga, that is the puja, that is the one which is there. So like this, if one does this puja, that is the real benefit of doing the puja here. So he said that is Atyanja Shubha, that is the one really good one can do. He also refers to Shaiva Shastras here. Then he says that in Shaiva Shastra there are 36 principles which have been said, and the one last one, that after the Kal Raudri, there is something called as Unmani. So it is that Sabij Samadhi. No? That Sabij Samadhi is what? That you are doing a Samadhi with yourself being there. No? That Bija, that Atma, that is there, that Shiva is there, and with that you are doing, then you are getting into that Unmani state, that in Yoga Shastra it is said as the Unmani state. That is the Sabij Samadhi. So Antardeshana, that is what? That Atmadeva. Now he is referring to that self as Atmadeva. And to that Atmadeva only one does. And then what happens that? Then that is very good for someone who does this, all these things. And then how it needs to be done with the Nirvikar mind, it is all, we already seen that. So he now again the Vaashishtha Muni tells Rama that after listening to this, I asked him one more question. He said that hey Ishvara, now is pointing, addressing the Shiva as Ishvara here. Hey Ishvara, what is it that tattva, what is it that principle, what is it that mind, what is it that intellect that does not become the subject of these five senses? No, what is it that? No, how does one Purusha, one can be aware about this? How does they will get a knowledge of that? How will they get that anubhav, both of that? No, other than that, because there is no other, there is no that sakshatkar. How that sakshatkar, how this one will perceive that? So that is where the Shiva says that whatever the things that you are talking about, this is not something realizing or seeing it on a physical level. No, it's not that experience will not come to you, whatever you just spoke about, the body, mind, and all the five senses and all that. Instead of that, the Viveki Purush, the one who has attained that pragya, that viveka, that discrimination power, they will attain the shama, dama, titiksha, ityadi. These are all the sadhana. No? These are all the means. No? Now we already seen this. No, these moksha ke chaval, 5 gatekeepers for the moksha. So in that we have seen all this shama, dama, titiksha, forbearance. All these things are there. Once they adopt this, the one knowledgeable one adopts this to do this. How does the question is how does one can go deeper into yourself? So they adopt to this. Then because of that, what happens? They also learn and they practice this. This avidya is there. This ignorance is there. To remove this ignorance, all this rajas, tamas thing, whatever that little bit of iota of there, using the practices mentioned in the shastras, using the practices mentioned by your guru vachanas, your sadguru. Then using that, listening to that, reading about it, continuously doing your shravana, mananana, nididhyasa, doing all that. These are all the upayas that they do. Now he also mentioned one thing clearly to Vaashishtha, that hey Vaashishtha, all these things, upayas which are there, now they are done using your physical body. You are doing it at the level of your physical body. Certain things are there at the level of your subtle body. So obviously the things which are done at the level of these upayas also is avidya. But then using these upayas, using this avidya itself can overcome that ignorance of the avidya. The avidya itself, once you go and settle down, this avidya itself will kill itself. It will only give you the solution. It will only give the solution to remove this ignorance. Once you are, and till that point of time, what you have to do? Even though we've seen that this self is not cannot be shown to you by guru and the shastra, they will not be able to show you yourself. But yet, whatever the path this guru and the shastras have shown, that is in the form of paroksha gyan. Something which is very pratyaksha, very obvious, at the level of body level, at the subtle level, that paroksha gyan is there, and definitely we need to hold on to it. We need to follow that. We need to continue to that practice, that self-study, that swadhyaya has to be done to remain in this state. And how do we have to do it? We have to do it over a period of time with honor and respect, without a gap. We have to continue to do this. Then one can get the Atmanabha. Then one can get the self-realization. So he says, continues that, hey Vaashishtha, Like this, the one who achieves this state, that self-realization, they achieve that Sarabhut Atma Tattva. They really become the self-realized, and then once that happens, they just remain happy, Chid Ananda. In that Sadrup Ananda, their vision becomes equanimous. Everything else, that what they see as objects, people, situations, with a very equanimous state line. And this is the thing that they have got into the Shiva Sakshatkara. Shiva Sakshatkara means not something will appear in front of you like a Shiva. This state itself is a Sakshatkar. This state itself is an Anubhav. This state is an realization, an experience of that Shiva Tattva. No? Don't look for any physical thing, that Akara that will appear in front of you. So all the Prachin Vidwana, all the ancestors, though Gyanis, they have really seen, use this Shiva, this Atma, Brahma, Ishvara, different name, with that bodha, with that self-realization only. Other than that, all these different names, hey Rama, you don't, hey Vashishtha, you don't get stuck into the name, no, and don't get into illusion and this Bhranti hallucination of this. No, this Veda, that is the different names are there, just for the sake of our understanding. And the people who keep on arguing on these different names and these things, no, you just don't waste your time with them, no, because they just don't know. They are just stuck into the ego, and in that ahankara only they are stuck, and then because of that they are not eligible to receive this knowledge. Patrani, they are not patra. So because they really not, they are still stuck in the form, they're still stuck in the name. So not that. So hey Muni Nayaka, like this, no, you do the Nitya Bhedara, it means there is no discrimination, there is no, we are really under the one who does the pujan, the one who offers that prayer to that self, salute that to that Atma, that is the knowledgeable Purush, that is the wise one who reaches to the Shiva Pada, that is the Brahma Pada, Shiva Pada, that is where he reaches. It's like this. And then even the people like with us, they, who continue to do their activities, just like Prapta Karma. That is where. So Vashishtha now addresses Rama like this Shiva Shankara, this after clearing all the doubts, no, this Shiva Shankara, then once again I offered him the flowers, where once again I offered all my prayers to him, and after that the Shiva and Shankara and all these people, they just do antardhyana, they just disappear from there. Like this particular chapter comes to an end. So I'll also take a pause. The next chapter will continue tomorrow. So over to you all. I'd like to hand over this session over to you all. If you have any question, you are welcome to ask. If you would like to contribute something, you are welcome to comment on that also. And any other contribution if you'd like to express, you are welcome to do that. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev. The unmute option has been open to you all. You can unmute yourself and you will be able to speak. आप अपने आप ही अनम्यूट करके बात कर सकते हैं.
जय गुरुदेव.
जय गुरुदेव. शशि जी बोलिए.
आप ये पढ़ रहा है ना, ये क्या किताब से पढ़ रहा है? What book are you referring to when you're giving this discourse?
Very good question, Shashi ji. So let me tell you that. So there are a couple of books that we are referring to. The one which is called as the Supreme. This is by Swami Venkateshananda. Now this is a smaller version. No, it starts 365 days, and according to Dubus, recommendation is that one has to read only one page in a day. That is enough. But in the knowledge and the language that is there in this smaller version of the books, people often found it very difficult to understand it. Unless you have a mentor, you have guide, somebody to discuss it, they found this very difficult. So it's a good idea that this same author, Swami Venkateshananda, has a bigger version, around 800 pages, something like that. That book is also available. You can order it from Amazon. And if you need a PDF, the PDF is also available. I can share the PDF with you. So that is the English version. Other than that, there are also Maharamayan is called Hindi version of that. There are 2 books available. That also are available on Amazon. You can order that. The PDF of that is also available with us. You can request us, we'll provide it to you. In other than, there is also another book called Subodha Yog Vaashishtha in Marathi. So let me just show you that. See, this is the book. This is the Subodha Yog Vaashishtha book is there. It is by Suban Mahadev Karji. No? So if you understand Marathi language, this book is also available, which can be used as a reference. So feel free to refer to any language, the content remains same. And we usually announce, when we announce this, we usually announce that tomorrow this will be the coverage. And then you can read it, either come here by reading it, so that you can be, you can ask your question, you can contribute, or you can also, these recordings are also available. We are recording this on Facebook. You can also see these videos later also. And then after listening to session also, you can go and read this book. Anything is fine. Do not feel that you joined this session late, or you joined it in between. Some sessions are already happened, so you will not get to the knowledge. No, every session is unique in itself, and we give a little bit of background, and every session's knowledge is paripurna. It's complete in itself. So there is no baggage of things that needs to be known or understood to understand this. It's not dependent on each other. Every session in itself is a knowledge, and it's incomplete. And if at all you need any doubt, you are welcome to us. We do that brainstorm, and we can help you with that. Okay.
Okay, Jai Gurudev. Thank you, sir.
Jai Gurudev. Just ping me on WhatsApp, and then we can help. So here what we do after this session, we open up this session and we have a brainstorm session. So one by one, whatever the takeaway, one takeaway will share, the next person will share the takeaway, like that what we do. So we can begin with Sangeetaji. Sangeetaji, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Someshwarji, and Jai Gurudev to all of you. So the first takeaway I would love to share it with all of you is the Lord, it says here, it is not to be worshipped by the material substances, but with your own consciousness. So what we do, it's not by waving the lamps or lighting the essence or, offering the flowers, and not even offering food or sandalwood paste, Even they say that is all nothing to be done. He's attained without the least effort. He is worshipped by self-realization only. And that is what is the supreme meditation. And this supreme worship is continuous and unbroken awareness of the indwelling presence. That is so beautifully said. The inner light or the consciousness, while doing whatever you're doing, either you're seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, or even talking, one should realize one's essential nature as pure consciousness. And that, thus one attains the liberation. So that is what is, the actual meditation that we see here, First of all, in that you have to have that notion that I am not this body. So then only the meditation comes alone as a true worship. Yeah. And the three worlds, of course, are the means of you can reach out constantly worshipping. You can reach out the three worlds also and keep on contemplating, because he is the only pure intelligence. He is radiant as 1,000 suns rise together. That is what we have read also. And he is the light that illumines all the lights. And he is the inner light, the limited space, the limitless space, not limited, I'm sorry, limitless space. So he is everything at all times. And as alone he is sought to be all, we should contemplate on him. And that is what is called a true worship. So let us all be in that frame of mind. And so whatever offering, whatever you want, you offer to the deity, it is through the self-knowledge gained through the meditation. And it is the flower, indeed, of all these are directed towards the meditation again. So self is not realized by any other means other than meditation. So that is my first point, and let's pass on this session to others also. You can give your takeaway, and then we can share some other points too. So thank you, Someshwarji, for allowing me to express myself. Thank you. And shall I pass the ball to our favorite Binaji?
Is there? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Anyone
So
can.
Binaji, yes, you can share your takeaway also and enlighten us. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so anybody else till Binaji comes here? Yeah, Urmila ji or Bhosle sir, Savita ji, anybody, Shashidhar, whoever. There we are.
जय गुरुदेव.
Jai Gurudev Vinaji, please go ahead.
आज हम नहीं ठीक से सुन पाए, आज थोड़ा सा बिजी थे, इधर उधर काम कर रहे थे तो ध्यान नहीं उतना पड़ा.
कोई बात नहीं, आप तो खुद तो टीचर हो, आप गुरु हो, शिव स्वरूपी हो. आपकी मुख से जो भी निकलेगा, जो वाणी, वो नॉलेज ही निकलेगा. यू कैन शेयर, इट्स ओके.
जहाँ तक मुझे अभी जो मैंने सुनी, थोड़ा थोड़ा सुनी, उसमें पता चला बिकॉज कि अगर आपको सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन भी होता है ना, और इस ज्ञान के अंदर अगर हमें अपने आप के बारे में पता चल जाता है तो अपने आप ही वो खिलने लगता है अपना, और अपने आप ही हम केंद्रित होने लगते हैं. और दूसरा जो मैंने पॉइंट जो सुन रही थी, मैं एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग. मैं ना बहुत कुछ कर रही थी उस दौरान, तो लेकिन ओवरऑल मुझे यही बार बार वही रेपिटेशंस हो रहे थे जो पिछली बार हुआ था कि इफ यू आर सेंटर्ड and if you establish in a Shiva Tattva, you know, that is between the breathe in and breathe out, whatever the space which you will find, that is the ultimate. You have to achieve that one, you know? And in order to achieve that state, that Shiva Tattva space, if you reach to that space, you will find that automatically you are established in yourself, and then that span of time, you know, that period will also slowly increases. So try to be more focused on yourself. That is ultimate, which I understood throughout the time. योग वशिष्ठ में कई बातें ना रिपीटेशंस बहुत हो रहा है ना, और वो इसलिए होता है, रिपीटेशन इज इट्स रियली नेसेसरी, बिकॉज ना हमारा मन 10 बातों में से केवल 2 बातें याद रखता है ना. आप चाहे कितना भी आप ज्ञान में रहे, कितना भी, फिर भी वो स्लिप हो ही जाती हैं, बाकी बातें बाउंस बैक होती हैं. तो बार बार उसको रिपीट और उसको गहरा करने के लिए, नॉलेज को, ज्ञान में रहने के लिए हमें ये बातों को बार बार सुनाया जाता है. तो सेम वो राम भगवान को भी यही बात बोल रहे हैं कि अल्टीमेट क्या है. बॉटम लाइन में एक वर्ड में बोला जाए तो टू रीच टू दैट स्टेट वेयर द शिव तत्व इज देयर, दैट्स ऑल. और तो मुझे बाकी तो एक्सप्लेनेशंस वगैरह बहुत सब कुछ दिया है, तो मुझे रिटेन नहीं कर पाई हूँ मैं.
Absolutely, you already got the gist of it, the one which is there, no? That's really wonderful. यहाँ पे अपने साथ उर्मिला जी भी है, शशिधर भी है. उर्मिला जी, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे? Whatever you could share. अच्छा, लैंग्वेज का कोई बंधन नहीं है, you can choose your language. आप किसी भी लैंग्वेज में बात कर सकते हैं. उर्मिला जी, आप, go to you. हाँ, कोई भी लैंग्वेज, मराठी, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, किसी भी लैंग्वेज में बात कर सकते हैं, कोई बात नहीं.
भगवद गीता बहुत सुंदर देते हैं आप लोग.
Okay, Shashidhar ji is also there with us. Shashidhar ji, aap, would you like to express yourself? Or if you have any question, it's okay to ask that.
No. what I would like to maybe comment or observe is uh, so much so from Rama's perspective. I think Rama, as a character, which we call him Purushottam, I think he got all the virtues of having that equanimous mind. So I think, for us, I think to have the gunas of Rama, once you realize what will be your behavior, how do you solve your problems, how you interact with the people and situations. So my takeaway is probably, kind of, uh, emanate the Rama's outlook of equanimous way of looking at things, and not to get too depressed when you don't get anything what you want, or not to get elevated high when you get what you desire in life. I think overall, I think once we are on the spiritual path, the idea is, to cultivate the virtues and the qualities of Ramas is something very interesting for me to emanate. That's all I have to say, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a fantastic by Shashidarji. So we always refer Rama as a Maryada Purushottam, the one who is disciplined, the one who remains in the Maryada, in the boundaries. He knows what is to be done, what need not be done also. And then he has attained the highest knowledge. He has attained self-realization, and he could perform all the duties, whatever came onto his path in a complete assorted manner. So that is what is important. That is what we get to learn. That is exactly what this Yog Vaashishtha is all about. Is that the knowledge which is being done by Vaashishtha to Rama, which we are going through. So fantastic takeaway, Shashidarji. Thank you so much for that. Here there is one more takeaway from Sri Devi ji, that she is referring that Shiva and Shakti are one. When it's Shiva, and when it's movement, it's Shakti. Yes, absolutely, Sri Devi ji. Thank you so much for sharing that takeaway also. It's wonderful. There is one question also. How from the formless supreme, the form world is formed? Savitaji. So it's an entire third chapter, Utpatti Prakaran. In the Utpatti Prakaran, it's completely described. And even also today also Shiva referred to it. I'll just quickly take 1 or 2 minutes to repeat that. So essentially the formless thing, according to Yoga Vaashishtha, the formless thing is formed. It's in only the chitta as a dream. In reality, nothing is formed. Whatever you see, even though appears to be very real to you, in reality is unreal world. Means it does not exist the way it appears to us. The way we perceive it, it does not exist. Who knows that this is dream? ये स्वप्न भी हो सकता है ना, ये चल रहा है जो, ये स्वप्न भी हो सकता है. तो इसलिए बोलते हैं कि यह जो ड्रीम है वो जो चिदाकाश जो है, चिद मींस चित जो अपने formless, that divinity is there. The akash of that, the chidakas means the chitta of that. In that chitta, he is imagining this as it's happening. That this is the way it is been formulated. So what happens, that chaita, that spuran comes, it takes the form of chitta, means mind comes, and in the mind just starts projecting. So all the 5 chinmatras, all this rasa, gandha, roop, all this tanmatras there, the chinmatras there, they comes into existence. And then using the pancha mahabhuta, the 5 elements combined together, it expresses as a matter. It consolidated further, it expresses as a matter, and then all this, Surya, Chandra, the moon, earth, and all these things, water, fire, all, and then it comes in the form of body. Even we see, when we take a birth in the mother homes, how do we develop? It's just that small sperm that gets into X and Y, comes together, and then that small, that is nothing, that everything, this body is created. All these 5 elements consolidate together. All the Shaktis, that Pancha Tanmatras, that puts the power into this body, and then we take a birth, and this is at a physical level. So that Jivatma comes into picture. All these things is just happening in the mind of a chitta of a divinity. So it is unreal. Whatever happens in the mind, is it real? No, it's unreal. Because of that, it say whatever is this there, this is just an avidya. This is just an maya. This is just an illusion. Now, this concept, this philosophy is of Yog Vaashishtha, which comes as a part of Advaita. Means there is a non-duality. That there is only one supreme is there. Name you refer to it irrespective of that. There is just one thing. Everything else other than that is maya, illusion, unreal world. Now there is another way of looking at it, that is the Kashmiri Shaivism. That is the aspect of Vijnana Bhairava, in which whatever we saw today, the chapter number 3, the creation of this universe, that is Yog Vaashishtha way. But today what we are looking at, when Shiva is telling him, he doesn't say that this is unreal world. Have you noticed when I actually walked you through how the entire thing is created? It never says that this is unreal world here. So this is the way of Shiva. How does Shiva refers to this? The Vijnana Bhairava, the Kashmiri Shaivism refers to it. It is also Advaita philosophy. It is also non-duality. They also say there is only one. Name you forget it, Shiva, Brahma, whatever name you call that, it's okay. Then he says that other than that Shiva, when it is stationary, it is in the form of Shiva. And when the movement happens, movement or the vibration, Spandan. No, there is an entire book on this, Pandakarika. And then this Shiva, Shakti, and the Jagat, the world. No, it's called the trident philosophy. No? That Ichha is there, that Kriya is there, and there is an immediate expression of that. This is called trident. That's the reason that Trishula, trident philosophy, that comes into picture. It just little bit differs from Yog Vaashishtha's Advaita, non-duality. How? Here in Advaita, non-duality of Yoga Vaashishtha, it says the one, the Brahman, the Shiva, it is real. Other than that, everything else is unreal, and it is discards that as a maya. But in Kashmiri Shaivism, in Vijnana Bhairava, it says that Shiva is Satya. Satyam Shivam Sundaram Visena. Satya. Shiva is Satya. It's truth. It's real. Shiva itself takes the form of Shakti when it vibrates. So Shakti is also real. It's not unreal. How can Shakti be unreal? Shakti is also real. We see everywhere there is Shakti. Even from a scientific perspective, we say there is energy. Isn't that even the matter also? You go inside the matter, the latest research in the science is string theory. What is string? It is just the field of energy. That field of energy does exist. So that Shakti, Shiva is real. Shakti, the form of Shiva only. No, when it's vibrating, it is Shakti. When it is still, it is Shiva. When the Shiva and Shakti, that's the reason that Ardhanari Nateshwar is there. Why the Ardhanari Nateshwar is being depicted as Shiva? Because it is the form that both exist together. And they are not two, they are one. So that Shiva and that Shakti, when it expands, because the Shiva and Shakti, it can take any form. That is what exactly happens in the matter, in the objects, whatever we see as earth, sun, moon, we, ourselves, all this expansion of Shiva. Shiva alone is expanding using its power. Power means Shakti. And this world that is created is also real. This is a fundamental difference. Both aspects are non-duality, but in Yoga Vaashishtha, in that Advaita, it discards it as Maya, illusion. Here is said that yes, it is there, but that Shakti and that Jagat, that expansion of Shiva is also real. ये फर्क समझ लेना. And that is how it's created. All these things are created. The both has this. What today we saw, that all the creation, no, right from the start of that Chitta Satta, then the Mahasatta, then we have seen the Jiva Satta at the level of Jiva. No, it's all there. It's all real. And here it is said that this Jiva and Shiva, they are not two. They are same only. But only the Jiva is not knowing that I am Shiva. And when does that happen? When this body consciousness drops, and when you self-realize, you go sit with yourself, realize that I am Shiva. That's it. You are Shiva. आपको शिव बनना नहीं है. It's not that you will be becoming Shiva. No, you are already, but it's just that you are not aware about it. No? It's that the moment that awareness dawns, ignorance will fade away. The moment ignorance fade away, you are already Shiva. आप already Shiva ही हो. जीवा और शिवा अलग अलग नहीं है. यही यहाँ पे कहा गया है उत्पत्ति के बारे में, फॉर्म और फॉर्मलेस के बारे में. Does that help, Savita ji?
I would like to say something, add up something in that.
Yeah, go ahead, Veena ji, please add. Yes, you are welcome.
So actually, what exactly this world is, it's the creation by the supreme, some one power is there, which is पहले दो हैं, duality है. जब ड्यूलिटी को मिलती है तभी हम हमें अंडरस्टैंड कर पाते हैं. लाइक सुख है, दुख है, डे है, नाइट है, ऐसे इस पूरे विश्व के अंदर ड्यूलिटी है. देन ओनली वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड, यू नो. और गुडनेस इज अंडरस्टैंड थ्रू द some bad qualities. So similarly, for we worldly being, we have to go through this duality, otherwise we can't understand the concepts. Okay, but ultimately this duality, when you, this is agyanta. Duality is the ignorance. It's a cause of ignorance. Because of ignorance, we are seeing the things as if a moon is different, this is different, this is different. But the moment you will come into the knowledge, when you become Atmasthit, you will come to know each and every part and particle on this universe is made by the one, and we have to dissolve ourselves in that one only. So that is why ये creation को हमारा बनाया है कि पहले duality, पहले विविधता में जाओ, understand the whole thing, then you slowly come out from that vividta, from the duality to the ultimate, to reach to that ultimate this oneness. So that is the Shiva Tattva. And Shiva Tattva को अगर हम broader perspective में से देखा जाए तो वो हमारे अंदर भी है, बाहर भी है. वो that is a whole universe. We are part of it. We are part of it. So the moment you will realize I am Shiva, जैसे आपने बोला ना कि हमें शिवा की वो ही पूजा कर सकता है जैसे कि जो खुद शिवा बनना पड़ता है. मतलब what does it mean? मतलब हमें कण से हमें पता, जब realization होता है I am so pure, I am so beautiful, I am so divine. जब ये चीजें आपके अपने आप आती हैं, वो कैसे आती हैं? वो purity of action, speech and everything, you know, that does come. तो जब ये चीजें आती हैं ना तो automatically the Shiva Tattva blossoms. These are the energies, nothing else. When the moment it blossoms, you know, you can feel that whole body is vibrating. The whole atmosphere, wherever you are going, you are carrying the aura of the Shiva Tattva, just like our Gurudev. So that is the ultimate thing. So in order to understand it, for first we have to be worldly being, then you leave it, understand it, then leave aside all these things and reach to the that one ultimate thing. तो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल आपने एक्सप्लेन किया, बहुत सुंदर लगा, बहुत अच्छा लगा. और जब भी आप बात करते हैं ना तो अगर आप अवेयर होंगे ना तो आपके अंदर कुछ खुलता है, सम एक्सपेंशन, वाव फैक्टर आता है, कुछ अंदर खिलता है. तो ये आपको हर बार करना है, ऐसे नहीं कि एक बार दो बार करने से. सो शिवा और शक्ति को हम पहले दो रूप में देखा है, फिर एक रूप बना दिया. देन ओनली एक्चुअली में हम देखेंगे ना तो हमारे बॉडी के अंदर बहुत सारी शक्तियां इधर उधर बिखरी हुई हैं. इन बॉडी में होलसेल अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करें तो हमारे अंदर पूरा, इसीलिए जो कम ज्ञान वाले व्यक्ति होते हैं वो बिखरे होते हैं, मतलब उनका फोकस नहीं होता. फिर धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे ज्ञान में बढ़ते जाते हैं वो अलाइंड होते हैं, जिसको कि हम बोलते हैं चक्रास. ये 7 चक्रा तो नहीं है, और भी बहुत सारे चक्रास हैं, पर मेनली ये 20 चक्रास. तो जैसे जैसे हम इसके ऊपर वर्कआउट करते हैं देन आप नीचे से ऊपर की तरफ उठते 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 अल्टीमेटली सहस्त्रार्थ में जाके आप मिल जाते हैं। जब इस स्थिति में पहुंचते हैं ना, देन यू विल फाइंड कि वननेस, ये यहाँ भी यूनिवर्स है, बाहर भी यूनिवर्स है। तो सो कंबाइनिंग बोथ द थिंग्स एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग स्लोली स्लोली कि जो बाहर है वो मैं हूँ, अल्टीमेटली मेरे अंदर है। सो दैट वननेस वी हैव टू establish between this whole universe and within ourselves.
बहुत सुंदर वीणा जी। मैं इसलिए बोलता यू ऑलरेडी हैव इट। आपको सब पता है। वो लगता है कि यार बोले को बोला, मैं क्या बोलूं, ऐसा नहीं। यू आर देयर, यू ऑलरेडी नो द थिंग्स। नो, रियली ब्यूटीफुल, अमेजिंग। जस्ट एक एडिशन में यहाँ पे करना चाहूंगा वीणा जी कि यहाँ पे जस्ट बिफोर दिस नो द अर्लियर चैप्टर इट वाज ऑफ अ काक भूषण। सब बोलते ये सब ज्ञान अभी कव्वे को कहाँ से ज्ञान आएगा। जस्ट इफ यू, वो खुद ही अपने बारे में कहती है, तो आपके लिए, आपके जैसे ज्ञानी है, ब्रह्म ज्ञानी है, बड़े बुद्धि आपकी तीक्ष्ण होती है, आपके लिए तो बड़ा मार्ग आसान हो जाता है, आप तो कर पाते हैं, सब सोच पाते हैं। मैं क्या सोचता, मेरे पास तो कुछ था ही नहीं। तो बोलते मैंने क्या किया, मेरे पास सांस थी, ब्रीथ इन एंड ब्रीथ आउट, प्राणायाम अपन, बस इतना ही था मेरे पास। मैंने उसके ऊपर फोकस किया, कुछ नहीं, मैं जानता ही नहीं था कुछ, और कुछ कर ही नहीं पाता था। जब जानोगे तो करोगे क्या ना। तो बोलते मैंने इतना ही किया, सांस अंदर जा रही है, बाहर जा रही है, आ रही है, मैंने उसी के ऊपर फोकस किया, उसी को लेके बैठ जाता था मैं। आ रही है भाई, जा रही है, आ रही है। एंड देन ऐसे प्रैक्टिस करते करते इवन मैं बाहर अपना काम करते जाता था, तब भी आई वॉज वेरी अवेयर कि मेरी सांस चल रही है। आई एम अवेयर कि हाँ चल रही है, चल रही है। बोलते ये करते करते ही सारा ज्ञान मुझे मिल गया। ये करते करते ही ब्रह्म ज्ञान भी आ गया, आत्म ज्ञान भी आ गया, और ये सारी सृष्टियों को कितनी सारी उत्पत्ति होते हुए मैंने फिर देख लिया, वो सारी बात की चीज है। तो आइडिया इज दैट कि यदि ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान है, ये बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है, अरे नहीं होगा, अरे बिल्कुल नहीं है, बहुत आसान है। गुरुदेव ने बहुत आसान कर दिया। हैप्पीनेस प्रोग्राम जाके कर लो, स्टेज प्राणायाम कर लो, भस्त्रिका प्राणायाम कर लो, क्रिया कर लो, यू आर डन विथ इट। नो डिफिकल्ट, बहुत हठ योगा, बहुत ऐसे तपश्चर्या करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। गुरुजी हैज गिवन सो मच, देन ग्रेटिट्यूड डांस। तो बहुत ज्यादा सीरियसली नहीं लेने का, जस्ट कम हियर, एंजॉय, डिस्कशन करो, मस्ती करो, आराम से जाके सो जाओ। दैट इज द क्रस्ट ऑफ दिस। रियली ब्यूटीफुल, थैंक यू सो मच वीणा जी फॉर दैट कंट्रीब्यूशन। अमेजिंग। और किसी को व्यक्त होने का मन कर रहा है तो जरूर आप अनम्यूट करके यू कैन एक्सप्रेस योरसेल्फ, इफ नॉट देन वील वाइंड अप टुडेस सेशन।
I would like to add, जो बीना जी ने अभी जो बताया, that is what is Shiv साक्षात्कार, what we said now, you know, कि there is an energy of wisdom and an energy of action, right? And these diverse aspects of knowledge, these are his ornaments, you know, like as you also explained, the Shiv and the Shakti, right? The organs of actions, what happens at the gates through which the Lord enters the outside world. And that what I am, that infinite self, which is indivisible, that is not division, no divisions in that, that I remain full and finite with this. And that with that intelligence, you dwell in the body. So even though if it is I am in the body, but then still I am the infinite self, which is not divided at all, which remains full and finite. And that the one who contemplates on this in this manner, what is the result? The result is equimanity. And his behavior is equimanous. No going here and there, no extremes, just being in the center, guided by the equal vision. So his vision is equal for everyone. And he has reached the state of natural goodness and inner purity. So with that inner purity and natural goodness, and his beauty is in every aspect of his being. So every aspect of his being, he sees that beauty. That is what it is. I am everywhere in that way. And he worships the Lord, who is the intelligence that pervades his entire body. So with this note, really, it is a beautiful thing that we contemplate on this. And this is what that Shiv Tattva that we can experience with the intelligence. So that I really wanted to share it. It was very beautiful, connected with Binaji's point only. Ki we can go ahead with this. So contemplation with that. Ki I am that infinite. And that you keep on saying everywhere. Thank you.
Really amazing. और किसी को अपने आप को व्यक्त करना है, जरूर आप अनम्यूट करके व्यक्त कर सकते हो. If you'd like to express yourself, you are welcome to do so. If not, then we'll take a pause. आज के इस सत्र को हम लोग यहाँ पे रोक लेते हैं, so that we can meet tomorrow. जय गुरुदेव.